Hello everyone, Aaron here and welcome back to Leetcode. Today we are doing the first unique character in a string problem. So the idea here is that if we're given a string S, find the first non-repeating character in it and return its index. If it does not exist, return -1. Now this is an easy problem, so to give myself a little bit of a challenge, I'm going to be doing it in C, just because that makes things a little bit more interesting. Although, for this particular problem, still quite nice. Int counts for the 26 letters of the alphabet is going to all start at... in fact, no, this isn't counts, this is going to be indices. These are all going to start at, let's say, -1. And the idea here is that if I'm looking at an L, I want to say, well, its first index is not -1, but it's going to be 0. Then E, I'm going to look at and say, well, its first index is 1. And I'm going to see that E again, I'm going to say, well, its index now should not be a 0, 1, 2. And it shouldn't even be a -1. It's going to be something else to say, look, this is something I've now seen twice, so completely give up. So for int I equals 0, I is less than string, I'm going to need, in fact, no, I don't need that. I'm going to assume this is a well-formed string. Si does not equal the null character I++. So what I want to do is I want to say indices, if indices Si converted to an integer between 0 and 25. So I can't just store something in position L, I need to store it somewhere in particular. Because these are all lowercase letters, I can say, well, L, the distance between L and A is, I don't know, what is that, 10? Something like that. So let's store it there. If this equals -1, indices Si, in fact, no, let's call this index. So the index is Si minus A. So if it's -1, we've never seen this letter before. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to say the first index I've seen it at is I. Else if indices index is greater than or equal to 0, this means I have found a position for it before. So I want to stop that. I'm going to set it to -2 just because this is very bad. In fact, yeah, no, that's fine. Yeah. So the else case here is -2. If it's set to -2, that means we've already seen it twice. We don't need to do anything else. We just want it to stay as already seen twice, at least. So we go through that for every character in the string. So what happens here is indices gets position L is set to 0, position E is set to -2, position T is set to 0, 1, 2, 3, C is set to 4, O is set to 5, D is set to 6, and E is still set to -2. And then what we want to do is for int I equals 0, I is less than 26, I plus plus, int min index is -1. If indices I, so what do I want to do here? Basically I want to say, well, the min index is -1. If the index I'm looking at, in fact, no, let's set this up to be slightly differently here. Let's set it to be I. And the reason I'm doing that is at the end of this for loop, I is going to be the length of the string. So no index is going to be greater than that. If indices j is greater than or equal to 0, and indices j is less than min index equals indices j. If min index is equal to I, return -1. So basically, if we never found an index that is both greater than or equal to 0 and less than the minimum index, then return -1, because we obviously didn't find anything. Else return min index. So let's go through this here. The L would be repeated, the O is repeated, the V is never repeated. So of all of the letters we've looked at, V is going to have the smallest index that is positive. Here, A and B are both going to get set to -2. 0, 1, 2, 3. So I is going to end up with a 4. I'm going to go all the way around and see that that's still, that remains true. So we're going to return -1. Otherwise, we're going to return the minimum index that we found. Well, we didn't find a minimum index here. I feel like I've done a terrible job of explaining this. I do apologize. I've just got out of a very long meeting. Let's use all of the test cases. Plus, my C is a little bit rusty. So this is probably not in any way idiomatic C. In particular, we really don't need this. That's not good. Run code again. Why do they all output 0? Huh, that's interesting. It found a 0. I want to see why. It thinks it found that there. Show me what's going on. Oh, this is not how this works. I just need to very quickly borrow this loop up here. What I could do is actually let them all start at 0, but anyway, this is just going to mem set it effectively. There we go, that's better. For some reason, I was under the impression that if you put a -1 here, it'll project that along the whole array, but obviously not. Get rid of the print. The other option I could do here is store the indices 1 offset, so 0 is a -1. You know what, let's do that. No, I think that's relying on undefined behavior, actually. Is there any reason to believe this is initialized to be zeros? There's probably some corner of the spec that says it is, but I'm not familiar with it. So let's specifically set it so that we can't go wrong. Submit. I don't expect this to be a fast solution. It's middle of the pack. That's not bad. Anyway, that's it for today. Thank you very much for watching. That's been 2 easy ones in a row. Hope you enjoyed it, and I will see you next time. Bye.